tattoos have become a great phenomenon among the young generations, although sometimes not only young people get their bodies modified for beauty. We have two opposing opinions on this topic in our discussion today. On one side, we have waitress/singer for an alternative band called the Shookies. As you can see, she has a couple tattoos of her own. Welcome to the studio, Sandra.
Thank you.
And now on the other side, we have a doctor all the way from Beverly Hills, Dr. Arnaud Laurier. He's from the Dermatology Center. Welcome, Dr. Arnaud.
Thank you, glad to be here.
Now, Arnaud, what is your opinion on tattoos and piercings?
Well, tattoos and piercing in general is very bad for you. It's bad for your health, it's bad for what you look like. It can cause a lot of diseases, infections, bacteria. The list doesn't end. Sure, it's really not good for you.
So you're very against it?
Very against it.
All right, now Sandra, you have tattoos of your own, so where do you stand on this?
I mean, I completely disagree with him because I think it's very individual. Taking tattoos, I've never heard of anything about it being like causing troubles, or maybe like it can happen, but the chance is very small. If you are allergic to some of the stuff that's in the ink, that can happen, but it's not very likely, and it's an individual thing. It's about expressing who you are and what you stand for.
All right, well, I interviewed a professional tattoo artist last week, and he owns his own studio in California. So let's check this out. Robert, what made you become a tattoo artist?
Well, when I was a kid, I really liked to paint and I really liked cartoons. So, yeah, and also my friend's father had a lot of tattoos, and I thought it was really cool, so I started painting my friends when I was a kid, and yeah, I really like it.
What age did you start becoming a tattoo artist?
Well, it was really difficult for me because I have some tattoos, and it was a bit difficult to find a job now, and so yeah, I think tattoo artist is basically the only work I can do.
Okay.
And I really like it too, so I enjoy it.
How about any health risks that people might have preventing them from getting a tattoo? How does that affect you?
That's not really my problem, you see. It's, you know, if people have problems with their skin, they should know it. And if they pay me money for making a tattoo, so I just do it, you know. I don't care about if I'm gonna give him some sickness or something.
All right, well, thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you.
Now, after watching this and seeing Robert, you know, in his shop, does this remind you of the place that you got your first tattoo, Sandra?
It's not exactly the same. I felt like where I took my tattoos, they were more concerned about my well-being and that it was sanitary. It was not like they were concerned about me.
So I just want to interrupt you here for 1 second. The place you are talking about is 20% of the tattoo places in the world. The other 80%,
it's not, actually.
The other 80% is known to be bad, filthy, not clean,
That's
using
not
the same
true,
needles.
because if you read according to what it says in the laws, it's supposed to be sanitary. It's supposed to be inspected by the health department.
Did you feel reassured? You were reassured that it's clean?
Absolutely, I felt really reassured, and there is like very slight chance that you are gonna be like
the fact that
disappointed.
The fact that it's, in your point of view, checked and it's a law and everything of that, it's not important because basically.
How can that not be important? It's very important.
It is, but people don't follow it. It's very
They
nice
do
to say that there's
it.
a law,
if
but
they don't
this law is
follow
not being
it,
followed.
they're supposed to shut down.
They're supposed to, but people like
tattoo
Robert,
shop.
who actually doesn't cares, who doesn't care about
I
his patient,
think
doesn't
maybe the
inform
way
them.
he was talking, he didn't express maybe the way what he was trying to say, but what I felt from him is that he actually like. It's important that all customers like are happy with what they're getting, and it's supposed to be sanitary. And
now, Arnaud, if it's not sanitary, what are some medical conditions, medical illnesses that you can get from such
medical risk can go from hepatitis B and C to tuberculosis, HIV.
Those chances are very small.
Those chances are actually not very small.
Like
I'm a doctor, and statistically, I know the statistics. It's actually not 1 in a million. 1 in 8 people come with infections,
that's
diseases.
actually not true. If they are allergic, they should check that before they get tattoos. So I think you're completely wrong on this case, and maybe you should check that further because it seems like you don't know
You
what
know
you're
what?
talking about.
I don't have to take all of this. I'm done here.
Okay, well,
Well,
I made my point pretty
Thank
clear,
you for
I think.
coming,
So
Dr. Arnaud. Thank
Bye.
you for being with us in the studio. Now, Sandra, you know, he had a very strong opinion about tattoos.
Absolutely, and I don't think he was really like that he knew what he was talking
You
about.
feel like after experiencing it yourself that you
I mean,
know better than him?
from what I've seen and also from what I've experienced, I have had no problems with it, and I think I don't see any problem with it.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for sharing your opinion.
Thank you so
Arnaud.
much for having me.
Arnaud out there. And we hope that you guys learned a lot from this little debate session. And when you decide not to get a tattoo, please think of us. Thank you.
So now